Welcome to Around the House Northwest, presented by PGE and Oregon Kind of Energy.
Welcome back for another edition of Around the House Northwest here on Fox 12 Plus. I'm Eric G. Coming up on today's show, we're getting in the holiday spirit. We'll talk with Catherine Emery about some great gift ideas for the do-it-yourselfer in your life. And we'll stop by Lone Fir Tree Farm for some tips on picking out the right tree. We'll also give some tips on holiday shipping. You know, it's that time of year. Here's how to safely and more efficiently hang up your holiday lights. Let's go take a look.
Now it's time for Perform Like a Pro.
All right, guys, today we're going to be putting up Christmas lights, and what I have right here is lights by the foot. And this is a really easy way to do Christmas lights because, one, they're high quality, and two, you can make them as long as you want to. And so what we do is we've got the string here, about 60 feet of them. I've got an end to plug it in, and I've got the end that's going to go at the end so I can connect other things onto it. And what's cool with this is I decide how big it's going to be. So we're going to start out with the end here, and what this does is we slide the back cover off, and there's a cool little groove right here. And what I'm going to do is slide this in here, and it actually pierces this cable on both sides so we have a connection. And it's really just this simple. I'm going to slide this in like this, slide this cover over, and there is a little keeper on the back that you want to make sure that you've got right. And when this slides in, locks it in place, and we've got a secure connection. All right, so the secret here is just to kind of stay in your pattern, which for me is going with the blue, red, and the green. I could have got some other colors, but I wanted to kind of keep it just really standard with these. And I went kind of old school. I went with these incandescent ones, which they still do make, which is kind of cool. You're gonna be down close to the ground, so if we ever did get any snow, which probably unlikely, they would look cool with them and keeps the snow off of them because they do put off a little bit of heat. All right, guys, so I'm not gonna put this end on because I might end up cutting this back. I just don't know exactly where this is gonna go. So to remind myself, I'm gonna leave this last bulb out of here just as a safety because nobody wants to have an empty end on that could be a safety hazard. So that's my little personal reminder on how to do this and not forget to put the end on later. All right, this is gonna be super easy, and we're starting out on the ground first. Bought these cool little universal stakes, so they work with just about any kind of light. And they're really cool because you just pull it out of the box like this, snap it over so it locks in place. And then these are meant for the bulb to go up. Just lock in like this. We're just gonna push these into the ground. I'm gonna follow the perimeter of my yard. So that way, we light it up well. Let's get started. All right, they did make this easy. They put a little mark right here so you can keep them even, so that way it's not going like this across your yard. All right, guys, now here's the cool thing with these things. These lights are 1 foot each light, so it's really simple. So if you got 25 feet, you need one box. If you got 50, you need two. All right, guys, I'm just kind of eyeballing this to keep it off the driveway. These stakes are really easy to be moved, so when I plug them in tonight, I might have to make some adjustments. One more little tip on this, if you're worried about the radius or the design, you could lay it out on the ground first so you can see it from a distance, and then you can put the stakes in. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. All right, guys, so time to put the end on this. So if I wanted to put something else out here, I can. So I'm gonna slide this apart here. Put the cord in here. All right, I'm gonna slide that on there after getting the wire lined up. We're good there. Now the last thing to do is I'm gonna put this last bulb in and get this last stake right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna walk down this and just kind of eyeball it and make sure I got a dead straight line so it looks good. All right, guys, I got one of these new pole extenders for putting the lights up. Sometimes they're just a little easier to get the ladder and do it the old school way. These can almost be more work. All right, guys, a couple tips here. You want to keep these as tight as you can and make sure that they're not sitting in any water like a gutter or something like that. As well as if you keep them tight, you don't have to have a clip for every light. Sometimes you can go every couple lights. Saves you on clips, and they're much easier to take down at the end of the season. All right, guys, there's two big risks when you're up on a roof like this when you're doing Christmas lights. Make sure for your holiday lights, you don't touch the power lines or any of these other things like that. That can be super dangerous. And then make sure you're always square-footed on the roof like this. Last thing you want to do is come off. All right, a couple things when you're on the roof like this. I really like to stay on the edge of the roof. All right, guys, another quick tip. Make sure that you're putting a single clip on every one of these lights when you're hanging off the edge of the house like this. It's not like the gutters. You gotta hold these things tight, otherwise they're gonna come off the house. And just like that, we got Christmas lights. All right, guys, it's really that simple. Follow a few safety tips, and you know something? You're gonna have a lit up holiday season. All right, guys, the lights are up, but I was missing one thing to make this complete. I recently ran into the Lutron Smart Plug. Let's see what this thing can do. All right, guys, I want to share with you one of my secrets to outdoor holiday lights, or even those back patio lights that are hanging from the posts of the trees out in your backyard. And that is the Lutron Smart Plug. It's their outdoor version. This thing is really cool. It uses the Lutron Smart app, which means you can control it to do lots of different things. But it's really easy to set up. First off, you're going to plug it into the wall. The secret is you need to have it at least 3 inches off the ground. So don't go laying this in your grass. It's waterproof, but it's not meant to be submerged in water. So they want it 3 inches off the ground. Second of all, you're just gonna set it up with your normal smartphone and the app, which makes it really easy. You just push the button and get it going. Now the thing is it'll actually control 15 amps of lights, which is a lot. So you can put in thousands of Christmas lights and this is gonna take it. Now this is the easy answer because you're not worried about setting clips and setting things up within it to make sure whether it's turning on or turning off at the right time. If you set it up to go sun up to sundown, it's gonna work perfectly every single time. And if you want it to go on for a couple hours or whatever else, it's gonna work really well. Now that's the fun part about this. You can customize this to do whatever you want with it. And it's really safe and reliable, which is what I like, because some of those timers out there are harder to set up and operate. This is the easiest one on the market, and I think it's gonna be easy for you. So check this out. It's a great buy over the holidays. You can use it all year long, depending on what lights you wanna control.